Hi, I'm India. I'm one of Leicestershire Council's cloth nappy advisors. I'm going to talk about cloth nappies and kind of give you a beginner's guide to kind of what they are, what the different types are, and how many you would need to kind of cloth nappy full time. So firstly, I'm going to mainly talk about birth to potty nappies. You'll often see these referred to online as BTP nappies. These are usually suitable from about £8 up to kind of when your baby or toddler potty trains. Some of the kind of birth to potty nappies work better from kind of a higher weight range, but kind of a gold standard is about £8. So to begin with, we have pocket nappies. Pocket nappies are pretty self-explanatory. They have a little pocket at the back there that you stick your insert. So these are what are absorbent into. Pocket nappies are great if you kind of want something that's kind of quick drying. The inserts are usually tumble dryable, and the outers you would hang up to kind of air dry, and they would dry quite quickly. They're pretty good, but they can often be quite bulky, and some people don't like a bulky nappy. So that's a pro and con. We then have all-in-one nappies. Some all-in-ones can either be quite bulky or they're very slim, depending on what they're made from. So this one is a Bambino. This is a microfiber nappy. It comes all attached like this. Has a little pocket there. This you shove the kind of tongue into the pocket at the back. You can also add in extra inserts to kind of boost it and make it more absorbent. So it's one type of all-in-one. Then another type is where the whole thing is attached kind of front and back, a little bit like this Bumgenius. This is kind of a slimmer nappy because of what it's made from. It's made from cotton. But an all-in-one, it's often seen online as an AIO, is where everything is attached. These can't go in the tumble dryer. They have to be air dried or line dried, depending on how you do that. Then you have got an all-in-two. You'll see it referred to as an AI2. This is a little bit they're kind of a two-part nappy, but they have poppers in. So the insert poppers into it like that. So if your baby just kind of has a wee, you can reuse the outside wrap, take out the insert, that bit goes in the wash, and then you would just get a clean one of these and put it in. So that's an all-in-two. And then you have a two-parter. You can do this a number of ways. You can either use a muslin. So this you would fold into kind of however you choose to fold it. So you can pad fold, which is a little bit like this, and then you have an outer wrap that you would lay it into like so. You lay it into like that, and that becomes your nappy. Or you can use a fitted nappy where the entire thing is absorbent, like this one. So the whole thing is absorbent, and then you have the waterproof wrap on the outside, like so. Okay. Nappies tend to be made for different materials. You have microfiber, like the Bambino, which is this style nappy. Microfiber is really quick at absorbing, but it doesn't hold a lot, so it's kind of the least absorbent. People often add extra inserts in to increase absorbency. After that, you have bamboo nappies, like this Baba and like this bear and boho. No, Bamboo nappy. So the inserts in this are made of bamboo. It's a lot more absorbent than microfiber. It does kind of take a long time to dry, though, and can sometimes be quite bulky, but it does absorb quite a lot. After that, you have cotton, which is again very absorbent and very slimline. So this is a Bumgenius Elemental. These are cotton nappies, so it absorbs really quickly, or it absorbs pretty quickly. It's a little bit less quick at absorbing than bamboo, but it still absorbs quite quickly, and it holds a lot of water or liquid, but takes a really long time to dry. So if you think about a t-shirt, if it gets wet, it can take quite a long time to dry. It's exactly the same with these, but it's very slimline, which is why a lot of people like it. And then the last one is hemp. Hemp is the most absorbent. It's a really, really, really thirsty fibre. Holds a lot of liquid, but it does absorb quite slowly. So people often combine it with something that absorbs a little bit quicker to kind of increase like functionality of it. It does take quite a long time to dry and can sometimes dry a little bit crispy. But they tumble dry really well, which is pretty good. So that it dries them a little bit quicker. Okay, so then what you would need to cloth full time depends entirely on how often you plan to wash. The kind of recommended amount of time between washing is usually kind of 2-3 days at the kind of outside. It's kind of better to kind of do it every other day. If you're going to wash every other day, 15-day time nappies is probably all you need. But you can kind of push it up to maybe 20. I would say you would need maybe kind of 4 nighttime nappies. You maybe only really need 1 wrap for your nighttime nappy, or 2 because you can reuse it if it's just wet. But 2 to be on the safe side. You would then need maybe 10 or 15 extra kind of boosters to kind of increase absorbency of your nappies. Some sort of liner, something to store your nappies in when they are dirty. So out and about, you would maybe use something like a wet bag, like this, which is a bag that's made from the same material as the outer of a nappy with a zip at the top. Some of them have got extra pockets at the front. And then in the house, you maybe use kind of a nappy bucket, a little bit like this, or some people just use kind of a wash, like a dirty washing kind of container, or kind of a wire basket, because we dry pale nappies. Then you would also need cloth wipes. There's a couple of different types of cloth wipes. There's some kind of little small ones like this. These are Alva, and then the ones that most people kind of see are cheeky wipes, which are these. They come in different materials, but they come with a tub that you can store them in. I store mine wet. In this tub, I usually do 2 or 3 days worth. Leave them in wet there, so I don't have to wet as I go, which is what I usually do out and about. And then you can sometimes get bigger ones, like this. Like these are Muslinz. Liners for nappies, there's kind of 2 different types. You've got disposable liners. These are disposable liners. I haven't used these. Unwrap them. They kind of look a little bit like if you left a wet wipe to dry. That is these. They come on a roll, a bit like toilet paper, like that, and you would lie these in your nappy to catch poo mainly. Some people use them when weaning because it's easier to kind of catch poo and dispose of it. And just if you do use these, they can't go in the they can't go down the toilet. Some of them do say that they can. Some of them also say that they're biodegradable. None of them really are, so they would still need to be disposed of like you would dispose of a disposable nappy. And then you have fleece liners. There's lots of different types, but these are great. These go between your baby's bum and the kind of inside of the nappy. These wick away moisture and keep baby's bum drier for longer. And they're great. You just kind of whip them out, kind of get rid of the poo, and wash them. So I think that's everything covered from kind of your different nappies, the different nappy materials, and what you would need to cloth nappy. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to talk about wash routines, kind of what powder you should use, different cycles, and how to dry, and what to do with poo. So first of all, you need to wash your nappies with washing powder. It's kind of the most effective way to wash your nappies. You can use a bio or a non-bio powder, as long as the powder doesn't have, your bio powder doesn't have cellulose in. Very few detergents in the UK do, but there will be some sneaky ones that do. So if you're unsure, use a non-bio powder. If you use a non-bio powder, you need to wash at 60. It's just more effective at that temperature. And also, if you're washing nappies for 3 months or younger, it needs to be washed at 60. So your wash routine, when you get to wash day, you will take your nappies from your dry pail, and you will pop them in your washing machine, and they need to go on a rinse cycle first. Some machines will have a rinse option, some won't. If you don't have a rinse option, you will use kind of like the shortest washing cycle that you have. It doesn't really need to be anything longer than 45 minutes, and some people use quite short ones, so kind of anywhere between 20 to 45 minutes is kind of a good time. You need to pop in a small amount of washing detergent. I use a like Indian takeaway chutney tub. I use that amount of washing powder and put it straight into the drum and pop it on the rinse cycle. Rinse cycle needs to kind of be warm to hot, to kind of clean it to get kind of rinsing through most effectively. Once you've gone through the rinse cycle, you need to pop them on to a long wash, like 2 hours plus wash, and that usually tends to be a cotton wash. If you can add more water to it and some more rinse cycles at the end, if you've got a machine that can let you do that, that would be great. If not, don't worry. You can maybe do a rinse cycle once it's finished. You need to put a full dose of washing powder in there. Depending on whether you've got hard water or soft water will depend how much, but it will say on the back of your packet. In Leicestershire, we've got very hard water, so I put in the kind of most for hard water, heavily soiled items, which is about 280 millilitres of powder. When you put it into the drawer, it will look like a lot of powder. If you might find that it's a bit too much, it gets really, really suddy, you can then reduce down from there, but it's easier to kind of reduce down from having too much in than potentially not putting enough in to begin with and then not cleaning your nappies properly. Once they are washed, you need to dry them. So any sort of waterproof, any kind of outers has to be line dried, air dried. They cannot go in the tumble dryer because it will delaminate the PUL, which is the waterproof part of the nappy. In the summer, or kind of when it's a little bit windy and warm, on your washing line, or the kind of a sock era, the ones from IKEA Socktopuses are really good. Inserts, fitted nappies, bits of that are entirely fabric can go in the tumble dryer. They need to go in the tumble dryer on a low heat, but they can go in the tumble dryer, or you can line dry them. If you have hard water, they might get a little bit crispy, but you can put them in the tumble dryer for maybe 10 minutes at the end to kind of soften them up, which works very well. But that's how you would dry them. Obviously, line drying can take a little bit of time, especially in winter. So if you have a tumble dryer and you are able to tumble dry them, that is fine. Obviously, tumble drying can affect how kind of the life cycle of a nappy or any kind of fabric, so it's kind of best to not do that as often if you could avoid it. The biggest question you get asked about nappies is poo. So pre-weaning, so 6 months or younger, or poo is water soluble. It doesn't matter if it's breastfed, formula fed, combi fed, it's completely water soluble, so you can just chuck it in to the washing machine. Obviously some people don't, so you can just give it a little bit of a rinse to get the bulk of it off, but again, it can just go straight into the washing machine. Post weaning, or as soon as you start weaning, and they're definitely consuming food, they can't go in the wash. Poo can't go in the wash anymore. So it needs to be rinsed off. So you can do this by kind of rinsing it in the flush of the toilet, or if you've got a bidet, that's a really good way of rinsing it off. Some people buy water sprayers that you would use for the garden to kind of spray weed killer, or the shower head over a bucket and just chuck the contents of the bucket down the toilet. Once they are kind of like fully weaned, the poo does become a bit more like adult poo, and it can just be plopped into the loo, and you kind of rinse off your the kind of any residue of the nappy in the sink or in the flush of the toilet, and then it can go in the tub until you're ready to wash them. So that is all kind of like washing and drying. It's the kind of thing that stresses people out the most, but it can be quite simple as rinse, hot rinse with a bit of detergent, long wash with full dose of detergent, maybe some extra rinses at the end, and then dry. Okay. Hi, so I'm going to show you how to fit a cloth nappy. This is Frank. I'm going to use him to demonstrate. It's obviously a lot more compliant than a small wriggly child, but he will do. Cloth nappies don't fit like disposables. Disposables tend to sit quite high at the back, whereas reusables tend to sit a lot like kind of just underwear, really. So when you are ready to put on your nappy, that's been there. So this is the nappy I'm going to use. This is a newborn size nappy. You will sit the nappy quite low at the back, so often it's just above the kind of bum crack. You then are going to kind of, just like a normal nappy, fit it in. So this is a Velcro one, so I'm just going to kind of Velcro in like that. The difference then comes with how it fits in the legs. If you pinch it together like so and fit it right into the creases at the top of the legs, so it looks like just kind of normal pants, so it fits really tight into the top of the thigh, low on the back, top fits in at the top of the thigh. So that's a Velcro one. Obviously poppered ones fit the same, but can be a little bit trickier. So again, this is another dinky newborn one. So you've got your poppers at the front, again nice and low on the back, hold it at the front, popper it in like so, popper it in like that again, fit it in, pinch and wiggle it in so it kind of sits nice into the kind of top of the thigh, like that, like so. You should be able to, if it's fitted properly, get 2 fingers down the side quite comfortably, so it's not too tight, and sits in like that. You'll probably find that baby gets sock marks. That's fine. They just go away and they're not bothered by them, so you will get some sock marks with them. You need to fit it quite high up into the kind of groin, and roll the outside edges in to kind of avoid leaks. So some nappies have got an absorbent bit that goes right up to the edge. You just want to make sure that when you fit it, it's rolled in to stop kind of wicking onto kind of baby clothes, things like that. And you would kind of think that maybe sitting it so low would end up with kind of poo explosions, things like that, but tend to find actually they have lots of elastic at the back, which kind of stops that from happening. Fit is trial and error. The first time that you do it might not go so well, but you just kind of need to sort of keep at it, and it does it does get easier to fit, but you just need to make sure that kind of any sort of cloth that goes up to the edge is rolled in, just to stop it wicking on and getting leaks. You will often find that, you know, when you choose a brand of nappy, if you are struggling with fit, if you just search for the brand and say fit guide, they'll come up. There will be someone who has recorded a fit guide for that brand of nappy to help you, because some kind of fit, some people have difficulties fitting some types of nappies to their babies because of their size, or kind of some of babies chunkier, some are slimmer. So different nappies fit better on different babies. I think that is everything. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.